Dear students, it is the third video for week 4. You are learning Pakistan studies and the topic is problems Pakistan had to face soon after the partition, and we are now talking about the unjust division of assets, right? Dear students, the background of this discussion is that Pakistan had to face lots of challenge right from the beginning, and out of those mega challenge Pakistan is currently facing, like the economic crisis, the boundary disputes, the language issues, and many more, they are inherited. Some are those which we are taking or getting as a legacy. Fine. In the last video, we covered that the unjust boundary commission or division brought Pakistan to a greatest disadvantage, and intentionally India was given an edge. For example, the division of Gurdaspur and other headworks given to India was advantage over the Indus Basin water system. Clear? And India controlled a lots of almost all the reserves of the water. This was really unjust. Secondly, the city of Kolkata was handed over to India against the will of the people, whereas the Kolkata was the city where Muslims had control over years and years. And also, when divided Gurdaspur and given to India, gave Indian to access to Kashmir. Later on, it became one of the burning pots. As in the previous video, we also have got the same point, that whether it is the war over water or whether it is the war over the territories of Kashmir, they are going to be very fatal. Okay, but now come down to the division of assets. Assets mean whatever British left in form of infrastructure, buildings, resources, equipment, and money. That was the right of both the countries. Fine. And now we'll realize that the unjust division of assets drove Pakistan towards the Westerns and especially Americans, that Pakistan didn't have the military equipment. Pakistan was economically weak and freak, and that's why the government of Pakistan then went to decided to take assistance from America, and that's how the Americans became very powerful and influential in all the circles of the government, and still are, be it is the internal or external matters, Americans are seen involved. That may be a myth, but it is connected with the economic disparity and other issues. Students, let's have a look on division of assets. The division of India also generated issues of the division of assets. Reserve currency. At the time of partition, total reserve of currency with United India were estimated to 4 billions. And the share of Pakistan was estimated 1 billion. But Indian government maliciously, with bad intentions, simply agreed to pay Pakistan 75 crores. And this amount, lack of this huge cut in the amount, really galvanized or aggravated or means the economic crisis in पाकिस्तान कि इसकी वजह से पाकिस्तान में जो इकोनॉमिक मसले आए हैं, जो हमारा मुआशी मसाइल है, वो इसी वजह से. After the payment of 20 crores, the balance was withheld on the pretext or the other. One pretext or the other. Mean government of India paid 20 crores to Pakistan and remaining balance which they agreed, okay, they didn't pay. Okay, and later on Gandhi went on the, what we say, he insisted the government put pressure on the officials, and finally his party was agreed to release 50 crores to Pakistan. And at that crunch of time, Pakistan was actually in war with India on the Kashmir dispute, and the Indian government excused that if they had issued this money to Pakistan, they may use it against Pakistan. And interestingly, the balance of 5 crore is never paid to Pakistan. And you just imagine that the 5 crore rupees in 1947 would have been a huge amount which is being held by the Indian government. Next, divisions of assets, Pakistan's liability. On the other hand, 20% of the total debt which the government of United India owed was made Pakistan's liability. Mean Pakistan had to pay the 20% of the debt which Indian government had taken, that it was the liability of Pakistan कि ये पाकिस्तान जो है वो 20% कर्जा जो है वो पाकिस्तान अदा करेगा. Spoiled official record, equipment and factories. In the very beginning, we have learned that the officials the Hindu extremists and officials, they destroyed the equipment, burned the record, destroyed the factories and other equipment which was to be given to Pakistan. Okay, they did double edge. Mean who they were working in the areas on Pakistan, they destroyed the record here, and they also destroyed the record and assets being transported to Pakistan from India. Interestingly, and it is really painful that all the main investment, factories, mills, ordnance, equipment, air force, air bases, or the ships and yards and ports, they left with India. Pakistan had quite a little. And that is the reason that Pakistan had to make great effort to build from the zero, whereas India had a lot. They didn't spare even the hospital equipment, which was to be used for the treatment of the patient. This is really unfortunate and inhuman that they didn't spare the hospital equipment for the treatment of the people, and that is the reason you find that hundreds, thousands people were killed. Thousands and thousands of people were killed in that time. It may be one of the mega migration, and the death toll had greater than any other event or region in the same history. Dear students, next, Kashmir issue. Kashmir issue is one of the very major issue which born out of the unjust boundary commission. Well, the population of Kashmir was Muslim, whereas the Raja of Kashmir was a Sikh. Okay, when princely states were given the choice on the basis of their population to include it, either they can include to into Pakistan or they want to be part of India. The people of Kashmir wished to be part of Pakistan, but Maharaja resisted, and meanwhile, the Indian forces they made way to Kashmir, and atrocities of the Raja, their police and the Indian army went at the high level. People were started killing. Okay, Hindus and Sikh militants they started killing the Muslims. Then the local Kashmir liberation. Kashmir liberation movement was started by the group of the local freedom fighters. When the situation became worst, they sent their representative to KPK, mean NWFP, currently KPK, and the Pathans and the other tribes. They came to help the Muslims. Okay, when this news went to uh, Delhi, the Maharaja, who may have the Maharaja was maybe some historians say that he was willing to include it into Pakistan. But when this news went into Delhi, the British Governor General, armed forces leaders, and other leaders by force took the annexation of Kashmir with India. Okay, and then this again, this very important region of this uh, important Muslim majority region was made forcefully the part of India, and resultantly, Pakistan had to had a war, and there are so many reasons that the British generals, the army officer were British. They didn't uh, comply the orders of Governor General Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, whereas the Indian army was given the edge. They made quick roads. They took control of the main parts of the Kashmir, and finally, after the fight, United Nations interrupted. Both the countries agreed on uh, the plebiscite, where the people of Kashmir will wish they can include into Pakistan or India. But later on, the situation became worse. In 1971 war, Bangladesh seceded from Pakistan, and both the countries agreed on the Shimla Agreement, and still that kind of this is one of the burning issue. Indians change the demography of Kashmir. They are converting the people by force into. They were expelling people their lands. Okay, the other Hindus from the other regions are being right to stay in. These issues are nowadays very common. Many people have been killed, and Pakistan and other countries, Muslim countries, are trying to solve it, but the issue is still unsolved. Dear students, in precise, let me conclude the entire topic that Pakistan, right from the first day, is facing a number of problems. Clear boundary disputes, water disputes, economic crisis, managerial issues. Okay, and others. But there are certain other problems which Pakistan is facing. There are the internal. Number one, the problem of uh, language. We Pakistanis couldn't be agreed on one language. Fine. Some people believed the Bangla should be language, others believed their Urdu should be language. So they were the issues, provincialisms. Soon after Pakistan came into being, the top officials came out to be lords and they promoted somehow their own provinces. Fine. So these were the issues, and Qaeda Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah right in the first asked us, all the Pakistanis, to be saved from these problems of provincialism and should make our country more strong. And one thing that is very hopeful, that despite all these injustice, odds, and unfavorable circumstances, Pakistan survived and still struggling to find its position. Thank you very much.